So I'm winging it here. I'm not writing anything down. I'm just not going to follow anything. I'm just going to talk. So things have gotten better. We had some crisis. We lost our cat. Then I'm a big advocate of, I feed the cats where we live, the ferals, and I lost one of those the other day. It's not like I've lost, over the past 10 years, there have been a few that have kind of disappeared, and you start naming them, you start getting attached to them, and you start seeing their special personalities come out, so you fall in love with them even though they're not yours. So we lost one. I lost one. I actually took her. She seemed kind of sick, and so I took her somewhere, and then they said they had to euthanize her, and that was not my expectations, and it was very devastating, and I had some cries over that, and I got through that. But I'm always afraid that I'm always worried that the adrenaline will start all over, and then I'm always worried that what they call anxiety will come back. So I went in and I started doing some research, and basically, if you've got the tools and you've been through this whole thing, you've been through this whole fiasco of it, that you basically it won't just come back. You've learned how to handle your stress. You've learned how to get through some hard things. You've become stronger. You've become a warrior. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry, things were getting loud out there. Anyway, it won't come right back. That was always my biggest fear, that it's going to come right back, and oh no, I'm going to have to start all over again. And if you've done all the work and everything, that's not going to happen. When you're like experiencing mostly the physical symptoms, which is what happens to me. I start feeling it in my gut, but then I'm telling myself, well, you're under stress. There's got to be, there's stressful things happening. That's why you're feeling the physical sensations. You're gonna experience stress. I mean, it's in our everyday lives, and so experiencing the physical symptoms doesn't mean you're going to have a full relapse, and it's normal for anxiety symptoms to fluctuate, especially during stress. The physical symptoms can be temporary. It's like residual stress or a sign of healing rather than a return to a previous state. And stress is one of the reasons why you start feeling it, and the tension left over from however long you've went through this, the anxiety. Physical sensations can be triggered by short-term stress, such as a busy week or a lack of sleep or minor illnesses. And residual tension, sometimes the nervous system takes time to fully recalibrate, and lingering physical tension can manifest as temporary weird aches or sensations. So I was under stress, and I was really upset about, the losses that I had recently. And I was feeling it, and then I was worried, and then I started researching, and it's like, no, I can't come back. You just need to deal with the stress. You need to experience it and feel it and let it pass through. And when I started doing that, it did pass through, and it wasn't long lived. And it is scary. You start feeling it, you think it's going to come back, and it's not going to come back. Not like it did. It can't come back like it did. And you have to look at it. The way that I looked at it was, these are just sensations that you need to feel. You need this. I started healing when I started telling myself that I needed this. You need to experience this. Even though it's shitty and you've been experiencing it for over a year, now you gotta start telling yourself that you need this. You need to experience it. You need to feel it. That you want this because you'll heal faster. You want to feel it because it's emotions that need to release. That's what it is. You want those to go through. You want to experience them. You want to feel them, and you want them to go through and out. And that's when it clicked, and I started getting better and better and better. And getting better and recovering is not like a one-time boom thing. It's an in and out thing. You know how they say that recovery is not linear? It's not. It's a up and down. I mean, even though I'm recovered for the most part, I feel it, and then I have those moments that my nervous system is completely desensitized. I'll be watching TV. It's calmed down a lot. I'll be watching TV, and I will realize, oh my God, you will feel really, really tired. It'll just drain you. Like, I've been sleeping. Remember, I was a person that was not sleeping for at least a year. I am yawning. I was not sleeping. It was the worst experience ever. I was afraid to sleep. I was afraid to get up. I was afraid to go to bed. I was getting no sleep. And when you don't get sleep, when you're having anxiety, it makes it harder to struggle through the day. And but I am sleeping. I'm actually sleeping too much, and I know that my body is exhausted from all the lost sleep, the whole year of everything. And sometimes I'm just so, I just lay in bed and sleep till 9 or 10 now, and I'll wake up at like 5. You know, I have animals to feed, so I'll wake up at like sometimes 3, 4, 5, feed the animals, and then go back to sleep. And sometimes it's not, sometimes it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. There were times when before I ever experienced anxiety, that I wouldn't sleep. Like, if I slept too much, I'd lay in bed and toss and turn for hours, or sometimes stay up all night. This was before anxiety, so I know that sleep is not perfect. It never was. Actually, I might be sleeping better now. And all I did, I'm sure that it had a lot to do with my nervous system healing on its own, because your nervous system will heal on its own, and it'll make it easier and easier and easier for you. But when I started telling myself, I need this, I want this, because I want to get better, and that was when I started telling myself I need to feel these emotions. And when I felt the anxiety, the adrenaline or whatever, coming up inside, and the physical symptoms always set me off. Like, I was thinking, oh no, I'm never going to get better. That would cross my mind. But now, I realize that nothing's going to take me back to where I was. The girl that was running around in circles and crying and pacing and couldn't go inside and do all this, that is the girl that didn't understand what was happening. I'll never go back to that. that if I knew what I knew now and I went back there, I would let that go right through me. I'd sit down and go, okay, and I'd just feel that and feel it until I just didn't anymore. I just we've got the tools. We understand what we're dealing with, and that helps majorly. And we know that these are emotions trying to release, trying to get out, trying to feel their, have their completion, and we have to allow that. Those are the three most main important things. Feel your emotions. You need to do this. You want to do this. You need to do that so that stuff will come out. And that's where I started healing little by little by little. And things are not perfect. I do get stressed out, and then I think sometimes now, how did I handle my stress back then, 2 or 3 years ago? I wasn't handling my stress. I wasn't experiencing my emotions. I wasn't taking care of my nervous system or my body. I was running it into the ground. If we could just be taught at a young age how to manage stress, how to experience everyday life and experience our emotions, if we could just start teaching our children that stuff, we wouldn't have these crises later on in life. And you can't sit on stuff. You have to let it take its course. You have to experience these things in life, because there's gonna be a lot of things to experience in life. One thing that I experienced death in our family. It was something we were very lucky in our family. We never experienced really a lot of it, and not a young person taken away from us so soon. We were lucky, and so we didn't have to. We took it for granted, and then we lost someone, and it hit us all really hard. And the one thing that really, really got to me was, oh God, I'm going to die one day. And kind of freaked me out. So while I was having all the adrenaline dumps, that one was a big one. That one would keep me in the cycle, and the moment that I realized, I don't know, it was something within my mind. I was like, we all acclimate throughout our lives until we get to that age, and we've acclimated. It doesn't just hit us all of a sudden and we're old, and then we're gonna, not, oh my God, everyone leaves this earth, and it's part of the process. That's why we're here. But we acclimate. By the time we get to be an elderly person, we've acclimated. We've gotten there mentally and everything. We've acclimated. So that really, really gave it a different perspective for me. And I thought, well, I don't have to worry about this anymore. I'll be okay. Because it's a, I think they call it existential, which I never knew either. Existential anxiety, or I'm probably saying it wrong. It's not something that I've deep dived into, because I don't need to. But I know a lot of people worry about that, and it's silly, because we're all going to experience that. There's no other way out. And it's because of how, it's this culture to make death a huge, scary thing. And there are some cultures that they raise their children not to be afraid of it. They raise their, in society, in some cultures, they celebrate it. So we have to look at it in a completely different light, because it's going to happen no matter what. And everyone in this world has experienced the loss of something or someone. Everyone has. I mean, that's just we're here to, I believe, love. We're here to experience these things. It's like that saying, I'd rather have loved and lost than never loved at all. That's the whole point. So I don't know how long I've blubbered on here, but you're going to get better. Remember the 3 things. You need this, you want this, and these are emotions. And I practice these are emotions every day. If I start feeling that come up, I'm all, experience your emotions, let them flow through you. And the next thing I know, I'm back on track again. And emotions, I was talking the other day to someone that I love very much, care about very much. We were talking and about all the emotions. Like sadness is like one of the worst emotions. It's one of the hardest emotions, sadness. So it's a tough one, but you have to feel that one through, because we've got all, what do we got? We've got sadness, happiness, anger. I mean, I can't think of all the emotions right now, but there's this little handful of them, and sadness is the one that really gets you. Sadness is a tough one. It's hard to feel. Just feel it. It'll get easier and easier. I believe that if you experience sadness and you learn how to experience it, let it go through you, I believe that you'll be able to encounter things in life much, much easier. Don't hold it in. When I lost my nephew, I've said this many times before, I stood there and held it in. When they took him off life support, I stood there, holding his feet at the foot of the bed, and shut everything off. Looked around at everyone, and everyone was sobbing and crying, and here I was, just like I'd always done. Okay, I'm going to accept this. Look at me, I'm doing okay, I'm doing good. It's like, no, you are sitting on everything, stuffing it. So don't do that. It'll come out any way it can. Your nervous system will try its best to hold on to stuff for you, because it's been doing it your whole life, but it can't do it forever. We all need to learn how to take care of our nervous system. We all need to learn how to experience stuff, take care of our nervous system, take care of our bodies. It's so important. Feel sadness, feel the anger. And I know anger is scary, sadness is scary. Those are really heavy ones. And the anger, you don't have to act out. I mean, get a punching bag, punch your pillow. I remember as a teenager punching my pillow because I'd get so angry. Holding stuff in. There was a lot of stuff, but you don't have to act out your anger, but you need to acknowledge it and look at it and say, I'm angry. That's another thing too. When I start feeling anxious and I start feeling really, really sad, and I start feeling that in my stomach, I'm thinking anxiety's coming back. And it's like, no, that's not anxiety. These are emotions, and you have to say to yourself, I am sad, or I am angry. Whichever emotion that you think that is, you need to state it so your brain hears it, so your nervous system hears it. If you say, I am sad, then, okay, we're sad, we're going to feel this emotion. And you just have to know, just say what you're feeling. And that also helps a lot too. When I say I'm sad, I'm like, okay, that just tells my brain this isn't anxiousness, this is sadness. So those are the things we need to do. And everything is going to be okay, you guys. Keep practicing.